What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we're here to talk about Barbie on 4K. That is right. This is the latest release from Warner Brothers. They were kind enough to send this to me to review and talk about on my channel. So that is what we're going to do here today. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the picture quality, the sound, everything Barbie, special features. I'm going to do a little unboxing of this beautiful slip cover right here. So freaking cool. You got the 100 in pink right there. This is the one thing that I wish Warner Brothers would have done with like all their 4Ks that they've done this year. If they're going to do this 100th anniversary banner, like make it match in with the actual artwork on the cover of your release, because they do that with this and it looks really nice. But like other releases like Evil Dead Rise, like that logo should have been like in blood red or something, but it wasn't. It just looked like the rest of them. So they definitely did a good job on this. I definitely like it. Regardless if you're a fan of pink or not, or even the movie Barbie, you gotta appreciate this slipcover design. I think it's awesome. So, but yeah, before we get into it though, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk about physical media of all types here on this channel. I talk about horror movies, extreme cult horror movies. We talk about classics. We talk about everything here on this channel. And we talk about Barbie. And that's what we're going to do here today, because this is a channel, guys, where we go from talking about Pumpkinhead and Night of the Demons on 4K to talking about Barbie on 4K. And I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that? Let me know in the comment section below. And let me know what you think about Barbie. A lot of people saw Barbie in the theater. The movie, it's the most successful theatrical release of 2023, which is just mind-blowing to me. The movie, I think, made like $1.4 billion. It's absolutely insane. So Barbie, Oppenheimer, that whole thing, I saw both of those movies within a week after they came out. So I did the Barbenheimer experience, and we just got Oppenheimer announced for 4K and Blu-ray. That's coming out November the 21st, and I'm very excited for that. So both of those movies, like in my mind, they just kind of go together, even though they have nothing to do with each other. But yeah, let me know what you think of Barbie in the comments section below. Let's talk about the movie real quick. This is directed by Greta Gerwig, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of the movies she's done so far. I like Lady Bird a lot. I wasn't as high on it as a lot of other people were when it came out, but I do enjoy that film a lot. A24 movie. One of the few, everybody seems to think that A24 is like all weird, like horror genre stuff, and it's not. There's plenty of dramas that A24 has done, coming of age films, and Lady Bird is one of them. It's a great movie if you haven't checked it out. But Little Women, like, I make no apologies. I'm a big fan of that movie. I love that movie. I think it's extremely like joy-filled, and it just makes you feel good after you watch it. So I'm a big fan of her version of Little Women. So going into this was definitely a strange movie, I feel like, for her to move to directing. It just didn't feel like it matched up. Kind of a goofy, kind of campy, cheesy, modern day Barbie film that was, of course, going to be a little bit comedic. That's just what it was naturally going to be, since the conception of this film, geared towards, it felt like it was going to be geared towards kids. And after seeing it, it definitely is. Like, we took, my son and my daughter to go see it, my wife and I. My daughter really loved it. My son was just kind of like, iffy on it. He's a teenage boy. He doesn't care about Barbie movies, but he went with us. And it's a fun movie. It's a fun family film, but there's definitely jokes in it that are more adult leaning. In not a Pixar way. Like, Pixar will kind of sprinkle in adult themed jokes in there, but this one just felt a little bit too obvious, and I think there's some cursing in here as well. But the movie it's goofy. It's a satire. I think where this movie fails, and a lot of people got upset about this film when it came out because of the way that it portrays men and women in the film. It very much portrays men as the Ken dolls. They're just inconsequential in this Barbie world. They mean nothing. They're idiots. They have no soul or personality to them at all. They just live to serve Barbie and make Barbie happy. And a lot of people got upset, by the way, because that was obviously being used as a metaphor for men in that world. And then you step outside that world and they're basically saying that men were evil and they run the world. And then the Kens get a hold of that idea and they bring that to Barbie land. And it's a whole thing. And I think that if you just watch this movie as a satire that works. And that's what I watch it as. Now, it's definitely a message movie. That's where I think the movie kind of fails, is that it's a very goofy, satirical movie. It kind of feels like the Lego movie in the first half. And then they start injecting all of this like really serious, dramatic stuff with just a lot of dramatic weight. And it gets way too heavy and way too lost in its own message. And I just don't feel like that's what the movie was for like the first hour. And then it just kind of shifts tones a little bit. And I just think that rubbed some people the wrong way. I honestly, I don't get offended by this movie, but I just think as a movie, it didn't work as well in the second half like it did in the first half. They were just going for a lot of jokes and everything was kind of landing. I love Ryan Gosling. Like, I just have a big man crush on Ryan Gosling. He's one of my favorite modern actors. I mean, Drive, Place Beyond the Pines. He's just been in so many great films that I love. So I love seeing him in this kind of a role, because Ryan Gosling to me is like the perfect actor. He can like pull off the drama and the comedy just like so perfectly, because The Nice Guys is a great movie as well, and he's great in that. And Lars and the Real Girl, which came out like in 2007, it's kind of a dark comedy, but he's great in that as well. But he pulls off the comedy in this so well to me. I love him in this movie. He's not meant to be taken seriously at all, because men aren't supposed to be taken seriously in the Barbie movie, guys. Go figure. And Margot Robbie, look, I love her as well. I think she's a great actress. I think she was freaking robbed of the Oscar back in 2017. Like, Frances McDormand was great in 3 Billboards, but Margot Robbie in I, Tonya was just next level. I think she should have won Best Actress back then. So I do enjoy this movie because I like the actors in it. And, you know, it is kind of funny. It's kind of humorous if you don't take it too seriously. But the problem is the movie wants you to take it seriously in the last half hour. And I just don't think it works in the context of the rest of the film. So that's where I feel like the movie kind of fails a little bit. But visually, it's a fantastic movie. So let's get into the actual like 4K picture quality real quick. So you do have a native 4K restoration. You do have HDR10, but no Dolby Vision. So I do think that was kind of a missed opportunity by Warner Brothers to not include Dolby Vision here, because this movie is extremely colorful. Like, just all of the outfits of the Barbies, like the actual Barbie world itself is just extremely vibrant and colorful, and there's so many like pinks and different shades of pink. Like, that would have looked incredible with the Dolby Vision, but with that HDR, it still looks awesome as well. And I do think, you know, I couldn't check out the Blu-ray because they didn't include it here, but I do think that if you're going to get this movie and you have the setup to do so, you have to get it and watch it on 4K, because it just looks absolutely incredible. And definitely because the movie was shot on film, because a lot of the sets and stuff were actually built. Like, I do have a lot of respect for this movie, because I watched a few of the special features, which we'll get into here in a second. And it looks like Greta Gerwig and her crew like actually built a lot of these sets in Barbie Land. So a lot of the stuff in this film is practical. They don't use a lot of CGI or green screen. I'm sure that some was used for sure in certain sequences, but it's not like a Marvel film where like the entire movie is filmed in front of a green screen. And I think all of that is really showcased beautifully with this 4K with the HDR. So I do think it looks pretty damn good on 4K. Now, not all of this movie is set in Barbie Land. Some of it is set in the real world as well. And I don't think it still looks great. Like, everything looks great in the real world, but it definitely doesn't pop in some of those real world sequences. Like, you want to get back to Barbie Land, where the actual like look of the 4K just really stands out in Barbie world. So I enjoyed this 4K quite a bit. Like I said, I think that it's a newer movie. So I mean, like 4K to Blu-ray, I'm sure the difference isn't as drastic as like an older film, but it still looks absolutely outstanding. And I think that you have to get the 4K if you're going to get one of these, just because of Barbie Land. All practical sets, and I just think it looks absolutely fantastic. The opening sequence, that's like an homage to 2001 A Space Odyssey, looks incredible. Like, blew me away as soon as I started this film. So yeah, Warner Brothers definitely did a good job on the 4K with this one. Now getting into the sound, you do have the Dolby Atmos, you have Dolby True HD 7.1, and you also had the 5.1 as well. And I thought the sound was absolutely incredible. There's so much music. There's like tons of musical numbers in this film. Not to the point that that I would say it's a musical, but there's just a lot of musical numbers, like the scene with Ryan Gosling singing, "I'm just Ken." All that stuff sounds absolutely fantastic. So this definitely will get your sound system bumping and thumping. And I thought that everything sounded absolutely phenomenal. Definitely an immersive experience in Barbie worlds for sure. Now getting into the special features here, you do get 6 new Barbie-tastic featurettes is what it's promoting on the back. So that's definitely nice because, again, I hate to bring up Evil Dead Rise, but they put that out with no new special features, and then a few months later announced the Steelbook with new special features, which they just released. And I fully expect them to do that with this, you know, announce a Steelbook, because this did not get a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, and I have no idea why it did not. Like, this is the most successful movie of 2023, and Warner Brothers could not bother to put out a Steelbook. Like, that makes zero sense to me at all. So I do anticipate, I think it might have something to do with the whole Best Buy situation going on right now. Maybe Warner Brothers is moving their Steelbook operation to Walmart or somebody else, and it just didn't get one. But I have to imagine that in a few months, we're going to be getting some kind of Barbie Steelbook, 4K Steelbook from somewhere. So definitely watch out for that. If you buy this 4K, definitely, you know that a Steelbook could be coming somewhere down the line. But at least they included the special features here with this one. 6 Barbie-tastic featurettes. They're very generic special features, but there are quite a few interviews with Greta Gerwig, with Margot Robbie, and they're basically just glowing about how great of a time they had making this movie, talking about the sets, talking about the costumes and everything that went into the making of this movie. You know, which is definitely informative. And like I said, cool to see that they actually built sets and put actual work into this movie. And I think it definitely shows, like I said, in the actual picture quality. So they all total about 50 minutes. So there's quite a few good size special features here. 6 in total, ranging from 5 to 12 minutes, I think is the longest one. So some really good special features though. And I do appreciate that they included those here. I wish they would have had an audio commentary with Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie. That feels like a big missed opportunity to not do that for sure. But getting into the unboxing here real quick, like I said, absolutely gorgeous slipcover. I love it. It pops. It's all glistening. It's all sparkly. And it's just awesome. Like, I showed this to my daughter when I got it yesterday, and she absolutely loved it. She wants to add it to her collection, which I'm still unsure if I'm going to let her have it or not. But let's see. We'll scroll up right there. You got all the information, tech specs, and all that stuff. And as you can see from the images on the back, guys, just a beautiful movie across the board. This really does lend itself to a 4K. Like, you have to watch this on 4K. Taking it out, you got the actual case, which is a little different, like shade of pink, which I appreciate that it looks different than the slipcover. And then I'll show you the back right there. And then we'll open it up. Just one disc in this set. You got a digital code as well, but thankfully the disc is pink. And I'll check for reversible cover art, but there's no reversible cover art. But yeah, overall, this is a good release by Warner Brothers. It's going for $29.96. Now, again, I'll go ahead and say it. You know, I hate to say it, but like within 2 weeks, this will probably go down to 25 bucks. So maybe hold off on picking up Barbie on 4K. It can probably wait another couple weeks. But if you're a Barbie fanatic, you saw it 5 times in the theaters and you can't wait to watch it again, probably pick it up now because you'll get your money's worth anyway. But I think you can probably hold off a couple of weeks and it'll go down to $24.99 or maybe even lower than that. By the time Black Friday comes in a month, this thing could be down to like 15 bucks. So definitely keep that in mind as well. And also there is a Blu-ray available, like I said, for $24.96. So thank you all so much for watching my review of Barbie on 4K. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment your thoughts on Barbie the movie or the 4K if you bought it in the comment section below. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.